Akhenaten, an ancient Egyptian pharaoh, remains an enigmatic figure. His reign, marked by radical religious reforms, left an indelible mark on Egyptian history. Born Amenhotep IV, he ascended the throne in the 18th dynasty. He initiated a dramatic shift in religious practices, challenging the long-established polytheistic traditions. His story is one of ambition, upheaval, and ultimately, a return to the old ways. Akhenaten's decision to elevate Aten, the sun disk, to supreme deity status was unprecedented. This act disrupted the powerful priesthood of Amun and reshaped the religious landscape of Egypt. He abandoned the traditional pantheon of gods and goddesses. He focused solely on the worship of Aten. This religious revolution had far-reaching consequences, impacting not only spiritual practices but also art, architecture, and daily life. The construction of a new capital city, Amarna, dedicated to Aten, further solidified his commitment to this new religious order. The changes he implemented were swift and dramatic. The reign of Akhenaten, though relatively short, continues to fascinate historians and archaeologists. His motivations, the extent of his influence, and the long-term impact of his reforms are still debated. His story is a testament to the power of religious belief and the complex interplay of power, faith, and societal change in ancient Egypt. The mystery surrounding him persists. Akhenaten's religious reforms represent a significant departure from traditional Egyptian religion. He challenged the authority of the established priesthood. He introduced a monotheistic or perhaps henotheistic system centered around Aten. This shift was a radical departure from the polytheistic beliefs that had defined Egyptian culture for centuries. The elevation of Aten to supreme deity status was a revolutionary act. Aten, previously a minor solar deity, became the sole focus of worship. Temples dedicated to other gods were closed, their wealth was confiscated. The traditional rituals and ceremonies were replaced with new ones focused on Aten. This religious upheaval had profound implications for Egyptian society. The priesthood of Amun, once a powerful force, lost its influence and prestige. The traditional balance of power was disrupted. The people were forced to adapt to a new religious order. The reasons behind Akhenaten's religious revolution remain a subject of debate among historians. Some believe it was a genuine spiritual awakening. Others suggest it was a political maneuver to consolidate power. Whatever his motivations, his actions had a lasting impact on Egyptian history. Aten, central to Akhenaten's reforms, was a sun disk with rays extending downwards. Unlike traditional deities, Aten was an abstract force. It symbolized light, life, and creation, the source of all creation. Worship emphasized the sun's life-giving properties. Akhenaten was the sole intermediary. Traditional gods were replaced with the sun disk. Akhenaten's family basked in Aten's rays. Akhenaten's family played a prominent role in the Amarna period. His great royal wife, Nefertiti, held considerable power and influence. Nefertiti's beauty and prominence made her one of the most recognizable figures from ancient Egypt. Tutankhamun, Akhenaten's son, ascended the throne after his father's death. He is famous due to the discovery of his remarkably intact tomb in 1922. Section 5. Amarna, City of the Sun God. Akhenaten's establishment of a new capital city, Akhetaten, or modern-day Amarna, was a significant undertaking. Located on the east bank of the Nile, Amarna was dedicated to the worship of Aten. It was designed to be a completely new city, free from the influence of the old religious order. The city's layout was carefully planned. Wide avenues and open spaces were designed to maximize exposure to the sun. Temples dedicated to Aten were constructed. Royal palaces and residences for the elite were built. The city was a testament to Akhenaten's vision. Amarna's architecture differed from traditional Egyptian styles. Buildings were often constructed using smaller, standardized blocks known as talatat. The art and iconography found within the city emphasized the royal family's connection to Aten. The city was a showcase for the new religious order. The construction of Amarna represented a significant investment of resources and manpower. It symbolized Akhenaten's commitment to his religious reforms. It served as a center for the new cult of Aten. The city was a symbol of the new era. Section 6. Art and Iconography. A new style emerges. The Amarna period saw a distinct shift in Egyptian art and iconography. Traditional artistic conventions were abandoned in favor of a more naturalistic and expressive style. Akhenaten himself was often depicted with elongated features, a protruding belly, and large hips. This unique style has been interpreted in various ways. The depictions of the royal family were also unconventional. Akhenaten and Nefertiti were often shown in intimate scenes with their children, emphasizing the importance of family within the new religious order. These portrayals were a departure from the formal and idealized representations of earlier pharaohs. The focus on Aten was evident in the art of the Amarna period. The sun disk with its radiating rays became a ubiquitous motif. Scenes of Akhenaten and his family worshipping Aten were common. The art served to reinforce the central role of Aten in Egyptian life. The Amarna artistic style, though short-lived, represents a unique chapter in Egyptian art history. It reflected the radical changes taking place in Egyptian society during Akhenaten's reign. It continues to fascinate and inspire. Section 7. The collapse of the Amarna period. Following Akhenaten's death, the Amarna period came to a relatively swift end. His successor Tutankhamun reversed many of his religious reforms. The worship of Aten was abandoned, traditional polytheistic practices were restored. The priesthood of Amun regained its power and influence. The city of Amarna was gradually abandoned, its buildings were dismantled, its materials were reused in other construction projects. The city faded into obscurity, it became a ghost town, its legacy remained. The reasons for the collapse of the Amarna period are complex. The radical nature of Akhenaten's reforms likely alienated many within Egyptian society. The powerful priesthood of Amun, stripped of its authority, would have been eager to regain its former status. The changes were not sustainable. The abandonment of Amarna and the restoration of traditional religion marked a return to the status quo. The Amarna period, though brief, left a lasting impact on Egyptian history. It demonstrated the power of religious belief and the challenges of implementing radical social change. Section 8. Tutankhamun and the Restoration. Tutankhamun, the boy king who succeeded Akhenaten, played a crucial role in restoring traditional Egyptian religion. He reversed his predecessor's religious reforms. He re-established the worship of the old gods. He reinstated the priesthood of Amun. Tutankhamun's reign marked a period of transition. He moved the capital back to Thebes. He oversaw the dismantling of Amarna. He attempted to erase the memory of Akhenaten's religious experiment. He began the process of healing. The discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb in 1922 provided invaluable insights into this period of restoration. The artifacts found within the tomb revealed a blend of Amarna and traditional styles, suggesting a gradual transition back to the old ways. The tomb was a treasure trove of information. Tutankhamun's short reign was a pivotal moment in Egyptian history. He oversaw the return to traditional religious practices. He laid the foundation for the resurgence of Egyptian power and prosperity in the years that followed. Section 9. Akhenaten's legacy, a controversial pharaoh. Akhenaten's legacy remains a subject of debate among historians. Some view him as a visionary reformer, others see him as a heretic who disrupted Egyptian society. His radical religious reforms had a profound impact, albeit short-lived. His introduction of Atenism challenged the established order. It questioned the very foundations of Egyptian religion. His actions had far-reaching consequences. His legacy is complex. His decision to build a new capital city, Amarna, further solidified his commitment to his new religious beliefs. The city, though ultimately abandoned, stands as a testament to his ambition and his desire to create a society centered around the worship of Aten. Akhenaten's reign, though controversial, represents a significant chapter in Egyptian history. His story continues to fascinate and intrigue. His impact is still felt today. Section 10. Modern interpretations, assessing Akhenaten's impact. Modern historians continue to debate the motivations behind Akhenaten's religious reforms. Some believe he was driven by genuine spiritual convictions, others suggest political motivations played a role. His actions remain open to interpretation. The impact of his reforms on Egyptian society is also a subject of ongoing discussion. The disruption caused by the shift to Atenism was undoubtedly significant. The extent of its long-term impact is still being assessed. The debate continues. The Amarna period, though relatively short, provides valuable insights into the dynamics of religious change and social upheaval in ancient Egypt. Akhenaten's reign serves as a case study in the complexities of power, faith, and societal transformation. The study of Akhenaten and the Amarna period continues to shed light on the complexities of ancient Egyptian history. His story remains a subject of fascination and scholarly inquiry. Section 11. Conclusion: the enduring mystery. Akhenaten, the heretic pharaoh, remains an enigmatic figure. His reign, marked by radical religious reforms, left an indelible mark on Egyptian history. His story is one of ambition, upheaval, and ultimately, a return to the old ways. His legacy endures. His attempt to establish a monotheistic religion centered around Aten was a radical departure from traditional Egyptian beliefs. The construction of Amarna, his new capital city, symbolized his commitment to this new religious order. His actions were unprecedented. The Amarna period, though short-lived, provides a unique window into the dynamics of religious and social change in ancient Egypt. The story of Akhenaten continues to fascinate and intrigue, reminding us of the enduring power of religious belief and the complexities of human history. Akhenaten's story, though shrouded in mystery, continues to resonate with us today. His reign serves as a reminder of the power of ideas and the enduring human quest for spiritual meaning. His legacy remains